Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nayanika and I make book related videos, and today I'm going to be sharing about all the books that I got in the month of March and April. So sit tight and enjoy. So first let's talk about the 3 new books I got in the month of March. 2 of them were gifts and 1 I bought on my own. So firstly I bought Monstrum by Lottie Mills. Now if you've seen my videos for some time, you know that I really love the weird speculative fiction genre, and this is a short story collection within that genre. So I'm really excited to read it. A darkly atmospheric and beautifully crafted collection of stories that ask what it means to be different in a world that strives for perfection at any cost. In the gothic modern fairy tales that make up this stunning collection, a father and a daughter build a life for themselves on an isolated beach, but the outside world is pressing in. It's only a matter of time before the secret refuge is discovered. Then we have a couple of other stories. Monstrum, this collection, captures the experience of characters excluded by a society that cannot accept their difference. Eerie, fantastical, and hugely ambitious, this collection announces the arrival of an outstanding new literary voice. So I'm really excited. So this was actually very costly. It's like 1400 rupees, but I got it on sale, so it cost me around 700 something, which is still a lot for one book, a small book like this, but there was no other way I could get it, so this is what I did. Then I have 2 books. One book is a gift from my partner, The Owl, the River and the Valley by Orupa Patongia Kolita. This is a collection of short stories written by a master in Assamese literature. In Orupa Patongia Kolita's stories, contemporary women in Assam take center stage. The powerful, lyrical and empathetic narratives talk about issues such as surrogacy, migration, employment and history, all of which affect women in the region today. Each short story transports you to fabulous settings, the storytelling hypnotic yet believable. So yeah, really excited to read it. This has been translated by Mitra Fukon, so I'm really excited to read it. These were originally written in Assamese, and yeah, such a classic. So that's that. Let me keep the books here. This is my journal where I'm keeping a record of everything, so we cannot remove that, but books will be here. Then we have a book that was a gift from a dear colleague. This is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. Now, I'm sure you have seen this everywhere, but this is a fantastical story in which it's a trilogy in which we follow this professor, Emily Wilde, who is out doing research to write her own encyclopedia of fairies. It's a fantastical world and fairies exist there. Emily Wilde is good at many things. She is a genius scholar and a meticulous researcher who is writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. But Emily Wilde is not good at people. So when she arrives in the hardscrabble town of Ravsnick, Emily has no intention of befriending the gruff townsfolk. Nor does she care to spend time with another new arrival, her insufferably dashing rival, Wendell Bamblebee. As Emily gets closer to uncovering the secrets of the hidden ones, the fairies, the most elusive of all fairies, she also finds herself on the trail of another mystery. Who is Wendell Bamblebee and what does he really want? To find the answer, she'll have to unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart. So I'm really excited. I've seen this everywhere and I was really curious to read it. So I'm really grateful and thankful to my dear friend, colleague turned friend who's gifted me this book. So thanks to him. So those are all the 3 books I got in the month of March. Let's now move on to the books I got in April. Alright guys, moving on, let's do the April books, and they're in no particular order, like not in the order I got them in or whatever. Firstly, we have 3 books from Kharida Vecha Books, and they are a mix of history and thrillers, and I'm really excited. So first we have Veil of Shadows by Siddharth Maheshwari. Now I have read A Murder in Dehradun by this author and I really loved it, so I'm really excited to read this one. This is also another thriller. With the arrest of a local arms dealer, Keshav Thakur, the research and analytics wing, RAW, India's external intelligence agency, is alerted about a plot to abduct the country's top nuclear scientist, Hamid Ansari, who is in possession of a unique nuclear fusion formula. Meanwhile, a military coup topples the democratic government of Myanmar. and a novel overriding device called Vita, developed by the DRDO, India's top defense agency, is stolen. And so begins a race against time for Raw's top agents Vikramaditya Singh and Ranbir Roy through the power center of the country, Delhi, the labyrinthine markets of Kathmandu, the failed state of Myanmar, the historical town of Multan, Pakistan, and the verdant coffee estates of South India. Fasten your seatbelts for Siddharth Maheshwari's thrilling ride through the shadowy world of power and espionage. So, really excited for this one. I have not counted the books that I got in April, so perhaps from here we'll get a count. Then we have another thriller. This one is The Search by Vishal Anand. After a splendid performance in Big Daddy Casino, the floating casino in Goa, the singing sensation Roger, along with his entourage, were gunned down. ACP Rathore is investigating the homicide. As the events begin to unleash, Rathore digs upon secrets too dark and dangerous. As he proceeds, the question becomes more and more haunting. Who killed Roger? Michael Rodriguez, the Deputy Chief Minister of Goa? Shirley Fernandez, Roger's wife? One or more of the other artists? Or an individual for whom Roger refused to perform? The Search is the most astonishingly impudent, ingenious, and altogether a fast-paced murder mystery ever written by an Indian author. So, really excited to read this one as well. Sometimes I really get in the mood to read one particular genre at a go, and currently I'm mostly reading romance and classics. So I think along with romance, thrillers will be a good palate cleanser. So I'm excited for this, both of these books. Lastly, the third book that I got from Kharido Becho Books is this, Indian Cities, Ancient and Medieval by Raghavan Srinivasan. This is originally from Hachette. Now this is very quick. It's a quick and concise reference, and it explores the beginning of urbanization in India, its advancement in science, technology, architecture, town planning, economics, art and culture in the ancient and medieval period. So this one is going to be a very interesting book, and I think apart from me, my brother is also really going to enjoy this book. So yeah, both of us will probably read it. Then we'll see two books that were gifted to me by my partner on the World Book Day. So I made a reel which said that 23rd April is Books and Flower Day. So he got me books. He saw the reel. So he got me two books. The first one is this, much anticipated from my wish list, Clarice Lispector's Complete Stories. I have heard so much about this author, but I have not read any of her works. So I think this collection of her stories will be amazing. Clarice Lispector was one of the most blistering and innovative 20th century writers of the short story. This collection, gathering all her stories together for the first time in English, shows us abandonments and dependencies, animals too deeply loved and then eaten, the smallest woman in the world, moments of madness and passions that have the ferocity of a fork plunged into a good friend's neck. Together they follow the evolution of a writer capable of capturing all the incredible heat and wonder of existence. So yeah, it's going to be such an amazing ride. I just can't already anticipate. This is an anticipated 5-star read, guys. Won't lie about that. Then he also got me Fictions by Jorge Luis Borges, and again another author who's probably one of the first to write the speculative fiction genre. So I'm really excited to read it. This is also a collection of his fictions. It introduced an entirely new voice into the world of literature. It is here we find astonishing accounts of Funes, the man who can forget nothing, the French poet who recreated Don Quixote word for word, the fatal lottery in Babylon, the mysterious planet of Plon, and the library containing every possible book in the whole universe. Here too are the philosophical detective stories and the haunting tales of Irish revolutionaries, gaucho knife fights and dreams within dreams, which proved so influential and yet impossible to imitate. This collection was eventually to bring Borges international fame over 70 years later, and it remains endlessly intriguing. Really excited to read this book. I think I just heard thunder, so it might rain again, I think. So anyway, let's then do two romances that I recently got from Bloomsbury. So the two books that I'm talking about are these, Spiral and Collide. So these two basically are romances that are set in the same universe, but they are standalones. We have one couple here, another couple here. So I think first you should read Collide. Although I first read Spiral and I loved it, collide. First, we have the captain of the hockey team of that college, and we have the girl who's doing her research thesis, and she has to do a research thesis taking the help of this guy. Of course, it's kind of like enemies, or they don't like each other, and then it'll grow and grow from there. I am just a few pages in, as you can see, so I'm loving it so far, and I have only the best words for it. Then I read Spiral. I actually have read it. So this one, in this book, we follow another guy, Elias of the same hockey team, and this time we follow his romance with a girl, a ballerina. She is a ballet dancer. It's a very opposites attract kind of thing. This one is kind of like fake romance and all, so that's that. But overall, I really like these books. Many thanks to Bloomsbury for sending me these books, because I have been having so much fun with these recently. I know this is not a wrap-up video, or else I would have gone on and on about these books, but yeah, really recommend these books to you all. Then I got 2 books from the browser, 2 of the Kappa classics. We've got Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, a book that I first read when I was in class 6, and I really loved it. And we have Notes from the Underground by Fyodor Dostoevsky that I've still not read, but I'm really eager to read this book. So, do you hear that? Wow, I think it's going to rain a lot. So anyway, Wuthering Heights is set in the 19th century. I think it's a very tempestuous love story and full of anguish between Heathcliff and Catherine. Catherine is the daughter of this rich person, and Heathcliff is more or less a guy of the streets that they pluck, and you know, he's brought up like a foster son to that family, and the romance happens, but it's opposed by the brother. And she meets another guy, a neighbor who's a well-to-do guy, and then she marries him, and Heathcliff is pining away from her, and it's very tempestuous. It's like the OG love story kind of, and we've got this, it's kind of toxic also. See, when I first read it in class 6 and then subsequently in high school and then in college, I really liked it, but it's been quite a few years since then, so I don't know how I will perceive the story. But that said, it is a great classic work, and I really recommend you to read it. Now, you might think that classics are generally difficult, but this book and even Pride and Prejudice, they're quite easy comparatively. So I could suggest that Pride and Prejudice is very summer, spring coded. This is very autumn and winter coded. You know, it's dark, it's gothic basically. So yeah, would recommend this book. Notes from the Underground, I actually have no idea, but I think it's about this guy who is called as the Underground Man, and this is a fragmented monologue by this underground man. We don't know his name. He is a bitter, isolated figure, disillusioned with society, and he recounts his sense of alienation and his struggle with the contradictions of human nature. It's quite short also, so excited to read these books, and I'll let you know my thoughts after I read both of them, especially after I reread this one. Many thanks to the browser for sending me 2 of the best Kappa classics ever, I think. Then I got Franz Kafka's short stories. Now I have, and I'm so ashamed to admit this, but I have still not read Metamorphosis. So I wanted to read Metamorphosis, and I was looking for it, but what happened is that alongside Metamorphosis, I saw this book, and I was like, this book also contains, you know, Metamorphosis, and it contains many other works of Franz Kafka. So I was like, it's good to have a whole collection instead of just the one book. So I got this book. It's got, let's see, it's got Metamorphosis, The Judgment, In the Penal Colony, The Great Wall of China, A Country Doctor, A Report to an Academy, A Hunger Artist, A Little Woman, Investigations of a Dog, The Burrow, Josephine the Singer or the Mousefolk, Fratricide. So that's that. I have not read any of Franz Kafka's works again, so I think this one is going to be a good enough start. I think the storm is starting. Just give me 1 second, I'll remove the windows. I'll push aside. Oh wow, this is going to be great. Okay, moving on. Let's see. We've got quite a few books. Firstly, Bloomsbury India, along with the author, sent me this book. It is Dance of Shadows, which is book 2 of Sons of Darkness. And let me tell you, I loved Sons of Darkness. It is as thick as this, but I just devoured that book, and so I'm really excited to read this. Now, without giving you a spoiler, Sons of Darkness, this whole trilogy is inspired from the Mahabharata, but with added creative freedom by the author, and he has done it really well. We've got some sci-fi kind of elements, we've got a lot of political intrigue, and that is initially, I mean not initially, but that is ideally what the Mahabharata is. You know, full of political intrigue. Apart from that main story, we've got so many plots, and all of those plots are now utilized by this author. It's amazing. We've got the character of Krishna, who's such a dear one for me, and we also got this little postcard of the main female characters. I don't know if you can see it. I'll make sure to include it later. But yeah, really excited to read this book. I'll pick it up on the first couple of days within May, and I'll probably share more updates with you on Instagram. So make sure you're following me on Instagram if you aren't already. Then, okay, we've got quite a few books now. Let me first see if I can recognize the classics, and then we'll go ahead from that. Modern classics, literally. So first we have Sabahattin Ali's Madonna in a Fur Coat, which is about this lonely and isolated Turkish young man who's in Germany, and he meets this girl, and you know, passions fly, but then it doesn't really end up the way he wants it to. This is, I felt like this was a continuation of White Knights, you know, the dreamer and Nastenka. So that was that, and I'm really glad I read it, because I picked it up because I saw it on social media, and although it was not a favorite of mine, I would not say that it was overhyped, because it is a good classic work, a Turkish classic, so you can definitely give it a try and see for yourself. Then we have The Woman Destroyed by Simone de Beauvoir. Again, a seminal book, and this is a collection of 3 immensely intelligent stories about the decay of passion. Simone de Beauvoir draws us into the lives of 3 women, all past their first youth, all facing unexpected crisis. Enthralling as fiction, suffused with de Beauvoir's remarkable insights into women, The Woman Destroyed gives us a legendary writer at her best. So I'm really excited to read it, and when I first knew that this is a collection of more or less 3 stories, I loved it, because I personally love reading short stories, so that's that. You know guys, this is a different seating arrangement, different filming area, so I hope it's not being too chaotic for you, because as much as I love staying here with all the birds chirping, I hope it's not a disturbance to this video, but let me know in the comments. Then we have Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. I'm not sure if I got that on camera, but thunder. We've got The Prophet. Again, have not read any Khalil Gibran, and I think this is a good one to start with, The Prophet. So yeah, it is a work of spiritual fiction penned by the famous Lebanese-American poet Khalil Gibran. Through 28 poetic essays, the book delves into the very depths of human condition, offering timeless wisdom about life and its many ups and downs. So that's that. Then we've got the last 3 books. I have Things We Do Not Tell the People We Love by Huma Qureshi. I have been eyeing it for the longest time, and I'm so glad I finally got it. It's a collection of short stories. You know my favorite genre by now, guys, or writing style. I love short stories. It's a breathtaking collection of stories about our most intimate relationships and the secrets, misunderstandings, and silences that haunt them. Set across the blossoming English countryside, the stifling Mediterranean, and the bustling cities of London and Lahore, Things We Do Not Tell the People We Love illuminates the parts of ourselves that we rarely reveal. So yeah, so glad I got it. Cannot wait to pick it up. Then we have the last 2 books here. We've got Kairos by Jenny Erpenbeck. Now, as you all know, this was the winner of the 2024 International Booker, and I'm excited to read it. I think it really gives me Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Miller's vibe. So, Berlin, 1986. They meet by chance on a bus. She's a young student, and he is older and married. Theirs is an intense and stubborn attraction, fueled by a shared passion for music and art, and heightened by the secrecy they must maintain. But when she betrays him with a colleague, the relationship takes a darker turn. just as the GDR begins to crumble, ushering in a new era whose great gains also involve profound loss. So this, really excited to read this. The last book that I have was a wonderful review copy that was sent to me by HarperCollins, and this is Counterattacks at 30 by Won Pyung-son, who is the author of Almond. And I've heard Almond is great. You guys have told me that I should read Almond. I haven't yet, but I probably will read it very soon. So let me give a short summary. We follow Jie, a woman who is working in an administrative job, and she's very tired of all the politics, office politics. Like a pacifist version of V, in V for Vendetta, Gyok, he is a new intern at Jihye's office. Gyok recruits a trio of office allies to carry out plans for minor revenge. Together, these four rebels commit tiny protests against those in more powerful positions through spraying graffiti, throwing eggs, and writing anonymous exposés. But as their attacks increase, the initial joy they felt at the release becomes something more, and Jie and the others will discover the beauty of friendship and the extraordinary power of unity against adversity. So really excited to read it. Many thanks to HarperCollins for sending me this book. Can't wait. I love this graphic cover, as you can see. It's going to be a big thunderstorm, I think. But anyway, those were all the books that I got in the month of March and April. Many thanks to my dear friends, to my partner, to my friends at the publishing houses for sending me these books. I'm really grateful. My life would not be complete without you, and I'm not exaggerating, because books are my life and you are providing me food and sustenance for my life. So yeah, that's that for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again another time very soon. Take care, and I love you all. Bye.